While the golden age of cinema often conjures up images of sulky leading men and glamorous Hollywood bombshells, the era was also a scandalous time of Hollywood cougars and unscrupulous seductresses. These female movie stars did what they wanted when they wanted and only got more willful from the gossip their affairs stirred up. This, however, often left innocent third parties under the bus in shocking ways. So, who were these old Hollywood actresses infamous for sleeping around? Join us as we take a deep dive into these famous actresses, their raunchy ways, and the often damaging aftermath of their actions. Elizabeth Taylor. Possibly the most famous name on this list, Elizabeth Taylor claimed the love of fans around the world with her unique beauty and dramatic talent. Not only that, she was also known for being one of the most notorious seductresses in Hollywood. She claimed her most scandalous prize when she fraternized with singer-actor Eddie Fisher. What was most controversial was Fisher was then married to Taylor's best friend, Debbie Reynolds. But it turned out to not just be a one-off hookup, as Taylor and Fisher later wed, but ultimately divorced. Taylor apologized to Reynolds years later, and the two once again became friends. Taylor had 7 husbands throughout her life, but married who she believed to be the love of her life, actor Richard Burton, twice. After her final divorce in 1996 to construction worker Larry Fortensky, Taylor claimed to have had enough of men, and remained single until her death in 2011. Diana Dors. English singer and actress Diana Dors first came to public notice as a blonde bombshell, much in the style of Marilyn Monroe. She made tabloid headlines with the parties reportedly held at her house. Later, she showed a genuine talent as a performer on TV and gained new public popularity as a regular chat show guest. With her ostentatious mansion, kitschy decadence, and debauched parties, Dors was the definition of notorious. She married 3 times, had numerous lovers, and was even called a wayward hussy by the Archbishop of Canterbury. It wasn't just her roles in low-budget films she was famous for, but filming people having sex in her house. Dors's guest would watch grainy footage of an unsuspecting couple who had chosen to cavort in one of the dimly lit upstairs bedrooms. Tallulah Bankhead. Tallulah Bankhead was a one-of-a-kind sex symbol. Not only was she beautiful, rebellious, and witty, she was never afraid to occasionally alienate people by speaking her mind. Not only that, Bankhead's sexual appetites were legendary. An actor named John Emery was picked up by Bankhead on the summer circuit, and the two were casually married. Emery bore a strong resemblance to John Barrymore, and not merely in profile. This was good news for Bankhead. Years earlier, Barrymore revealed himself to her in his dressing room, and Tallulah swore to herself she would never sleep with any man who wasn't hung like Barrymore. She then claimed she had stuck to her word. But she may not have always been so picky, having claimed over 500 conquests. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Clara Bow. American actress Clara Bow rose to stardom during the silent film era of the 20s and successfully made the transition to talkies in 1929. Bow was one of cinema's first starlets, and one of its most luridly famous ones. She retired in 1931 amid a tangle of scandals at the age of 28. But most of these so-called scandals that developed around her name came from the result of old-fashioned romanticism, which Bow believed in as much as anybody. Like many female stars of the time, she treated her boyfriends like engagements. This optimistic approach to relationships led to a series of quickly formed and broken engagements. These included with Gary Cooper, director Vic Fleming, and actor Gilbert Roland. Bow suffered a case of nerves in the late 20s and developed a crush on her Hollywood doctor. The doctor's wife sued for divorce and named Bow as cause for alienation of affection. Jayne Mansfield. Known as the naughtier version of Marilyn Monroe, Jayne Mansfield is probably more associated with raunchy and fabulous fun times than any other actress in the history of Hollywood. The famous photo of Sophia Loren side-eyeing Mansfield's prominent cleavage is a perfect example of her impact on Tinseltown. The blonde bombshell is remembered for having countless lovers and erotic romps. It was even rumored she'd been a mistress of JFK. But Mansfield's most notorious association was with the founder of the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey. Mansfield was apparently not above tormenting the obsessed Satanist. While denying knowing LaVey intimately, she would ridicule her satanic suitor by calling from her Los Angeles home and seductively teasing him while her friends listened in on the conversation. Vivien Leigh. British actress Vivien Leigh won the Academy Award for Best Actress twice in her career. First for her definitive performance as Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind, and then as Blanche DuBois in A Streetcar Named Desire. But she was also known for her intensity and beauty. Her notoriously volatile marriage to actor-director Sir Laurence Olivier didn't come easily or ethically. Leigh watched Olivier in a play and declared, "That's the man I'm going to marry." The fact that he was married already didn't stop Leigh. She followed him and his wife to where they were vacationing on the Italian island of Capri. Leigh and Olivier got together even though his wife at the time, actress Jill Esmond, was pregnant. The less than honorable Olivier gave her the boot and married Leigh soon after. Lupe Velez. Mexican actress, dancer, and singer during the golden age of Hollywood films, Lupe Velez was known as the Mexican Spitfire. But she had mostly become known for her bizarre urban legends surrounding her death. She's rumored to have died with her head in the toilet after having committed suicide in response to her lover abandoning her and their unborn child. But the truth is, she was actually discovered in her bed by her secretary. Velez dated actor Gary Cooper for years and called him the love of her life. But she was also jealous of him. This led to accusations of him having an affair with actor Anderson Lawler, among other people. She supposedly unzipped Cooper's pants at social gatherings to sniff at his crotch. She would then claim she smelled Lawler's cologne. Velez was rumored to have had hundreds of lovers. However, most of these reports were likely exaggerated, as Velez was said to have deliberately encouraged gossip. Louise Brooks. Actress and dancer Louise Brooks' film career was brief but impactful. She hated Hollywood, but did like to have a good time. She left her first husband, film director and actor Eddie Sutherland, after she fell in love with George Preston Marshall, owner of the Washington Redskins of the NFL. Brooks then left Marshall to marry someone else. She left them after less than 6 months. Her life in film was over by the time she was 26, but though her subsequent poverty caused a lot of problems, she never showed regret for leaving the limelight. Daisy and Violet Hilton. Daisy and Violet Hilton were conjoined twins, best known for starring in Todd Browning's cult masterpiece Freaks and Henry L. Fraser's exploitation flick Chained for Life. They rose to fame during the 20s and 30s vaudeville scene. The twins, who were joined at the lower back and spine, allegedly had dozens of affairs. They were supposedly welcomed by A-list America and promptly took advantage of all its hedonistic pleasures. They partied hard and took a string of lovers. They also married, divorced, and even had a baby. The first of several affairs was apparently with a married friend, which caused his divorce. Daisy later sought to marry musician Jack Lewis, but after 21 states refused to grant him a marriage license, he eventually left her. This was technically because marrying Daisy and her sister would have counted as bigamy. After the twins became too old to work in show business, they descended into poverty and eventually died under tragic circumstances. Barbara Marr. Silent movie star Barbara Marr appeared in 27 films in her career. Born Retha Dale Watson in Yakima, Washington, she moved to Hollywood driven by the desire to be an actress and, in her words, wield a dagger. While being labeled too beautiful to be in a big city by a judge, Marr started out seeking fame by traveling across the country with her second husband, Philip Ainsworth. She eventually left him to marry her third spouse, who was a dancer and check forger. Eventually, she made it to Hollywood and was noticed by Douglas Fairbanks. Marr left her husband in 1921 and became famous for her wild love life and dramatic, liberated bon mots, which excited the lost generation of flappers and philosophers. She described herself as taking lovers by the dozen and stated she loves to live only because she lives to love. Her luck eventually ran out. She died, possibly of tuberculosis, at the age of 29. She is dubbed thereafter Screenland's Beautiful Lady of Sorrow. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these Hollywood actresses was your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to FactsVerse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.